Hi everyone, it's Saunter Scamper here on June 23rd, 2018. I wanted to talk with you today about breakage and hair damage regarding my dreadlocks, and also some of the reasons why that could happen. I've noticed that my natural hair is damaged, and the ends. And I know that you will probably have the people who have watched other videos a lot of them will have a lot of reasons that they would explain why I have damage. And they may be completely correct. I do a lot to my dreadlocks. I do manipulate them, not just by dyeing them, which is what I'm going to talk about today, but also from crocheting them early on, washing them more frequently than most people with the dreadlocks that have dreadlock channels. Wash them, and palm rolling more early on. So yes, so there are a lot of reasons why I could be having breakage and damage in my dreadlocks. So I'll show you, and I don't think you'll be able to actually see the little white sections on the end, like when you see, if you look at your hair, when it breaks off, if you don't have dreadlocks, you look at it and it's like a little white thing on the end after it's broken off usually. But in here, when I look in these sections, so this is one of my bangs. This is like probably 3 months younger than the rest of my dreads, but it's the most easy example for me to show you because I haven't dyed it. I don't know. I haven't done as much with it, but yet in here I can see all over the place, not just on the ends that it's already broken off, but sections like this far apart that have white on them. So yes, I have been thinking about talking about it in a video for a while now, and I know I do get some flack from people that comment saying that I do too much to my hair and I should leave it alone. So of course, making a video like this, I really want to make sure that you know that yeah, some of those people might be completely right on what they're saying. A lot of times they're telling me not to use products at all for dreadlock products even, and they're telling me to just leave my hair alone, which probably means don't manipulate it. Not so many people focusing on the fact that I'm dyeing it with permanent hair dye. Anyway, so, well, what I did want to say is, I am thinking about most likely, because I have been dyeing my hair every 4 months, and I thought that was okay. I thought that was good enough. I thought that was minimal enough, but I don't think it is. So I might lose the ends, like the heavy ends that, are thicker and older, because those have been dyed the most, even though I try to avoid them when I dye the new growth now. It does, like when I'm rinsing it out, it would get stuck in there as much as I try to rinse it out. I rinse it out really well, and I even rinse it with like apple cider vinegar diluted with water. After I dye my dreads, I do know that probably is where they would get, most damaged. So I, don't want to lose my length too soon. I don't mind cutting this off, the ends that are the most damaged. I don't mind doing that later on, but I am like enjoying that I'm starting to get a little bit of length here. So I would like to preserve it as best as possible. I've been thinking about what to do about it. And yes, I could just stop dyeing my hair completely. Yes, that's what I thought I would have to do. And that's why it's taken me so long to kind of come to this, is because that's what I thought my only option was. Now, regarding dyeing your hair when you have dreadlocks, well, with permanent hair dye, there are some pros. Actually, you would think there wouldn't be any because it's not natural. There are some pros to dyeing your dreadlocks. Obviously, you have to be cautious. You got to be cautious to make sure you rinse it out really well, mainly. And also don't do it too often, but every 4 months like I have been, that's not too often. I mean, it shouldn't be, it shouldn't with natural hair. So Yanni, the lockologist, she has a video called something like how to get lint out of your dreadlocks. In that video, she talks about, because I'm dying to know, and she talks about how it will happen. She doesn't care if you use products or not, whatever. Lint is in the air everywhere. You just don't see it. You do see dust. If you don't dust for a while in your house, you will see it. Well, that's settling on your dreadlocks. And so anything is they're going to attach. It's just like more products you use, the more likely it is. But she said that you really can avoid it. And also you can't get this lint out of your dreadlocks unless you take your dreadlocks out, because you're not combing your hair, so it's gonna be in there. So she actually recommends by the end of the video to dye it. And she's just working with people with dark colored hair. So the lint in my hair makes it look more of a darkish gray. So it doesn't look as vibrant of a color. But with the people that she's working with that have dark colored hair already, it actually makes it look a more lighter, but still grayish. So she tells them to dye it black or dye it dark colored, that you can dye the lint. And she also said another pro with dyeing lint is because you're killing the bacteria. Because if you're using hydrogen peroxide, well, all permanent hair dye has hydrogen peroxide in it, and that is kind of like it will kill bacteria or whatever. So she said that's another pro for it. I was really surprised. Yanni is pretty minimalist, and when she gave that advice, I was like, wow. Well, then I didn't know at the time how it applied to me because I wasn't noticing any color of lint in my hair. She was also kind of talking about like it's white. You'd see white stuff. I wasn't seeing that. So, but I did when I tried to like take out some of the ends because I wanted it to be more like loose ends. I did notice that some dark gray lint was coming out. So I'm like, this is what Yanni was talking about. It's just not going to look white in my hair. Another reason to dye your hair when you have dreadlocks is that it will help rough up the cuticle better for the new growth to dread better. You know, some people have trouble with the hair, not just the short new growth, but their hair that grows out that's still long, dreading. And so they might have a section this long that's not dreaded at their roots. And actually that's not good. The woman from Dreadlocks, the owner, she does not say why that's not good. She just says it's important that your hair continues to be dreaded up to pretty close to the roots, like within this, to your scalp. But she doesn't say why, but it's true. It needs to. So if that's happening, you got to do something. There's various things you can do. But one thing is to use a permanent hair dye. Now, I looked up because I had this thought, what about... So I am naturally, I've determined from looking at color charts, my natural hair color is a level 4. The higher the number, as far as 4, above that is lighter colors. So the color I'm dyeing it to is a level 7. This is the color I dye it to. So it's level 7, and then the /, and then like there's some, those are like the tones after that. But basically it's a level 7. My natural hair color at the root is a level 4. I know it doesn't look that dark, but it is. So I'm dyeing it 3 shades lighter when I do this every 4 months. This one, which seems really dark looking to me, this is a level 6. This is still 2 shades lighter than my natural hair color, apparently. I don't know. So basically I was thinking, well, okay, so if I want to keep my roots continuing to kind of dread, okay, then maybe I should just do, especially to start out, all over a permanent hair coloring that is the same level as mine, which is a level 4. So I went through and looked at all the different options I might have for that, because it's not going to look reddish. It doesn't even need to look reddish at that point, because I'm going to be going, it's going to kind of adding color on. And then I thought, well, what about semi-permanent? So I looked up, is darker or lighter, actually like dyeing your hair a lighter shade of permanent, less healthy for your hair? And basically they said, yes, it is less healthy. So they said that both permanent and semi-permanent hair dyes use hydrogen peroxide, which opens up the hair cuticles and inserts color molecules and chemically changes the color of the strand. So inserts color molecules into the strands of your hair, and that's a chemical change that happens. And I'll link to this article below. Semi-permanent dyes have less hydrogen peroxide, but they do have some hydrogen peroxide. So semi-permanents, they have less hydrogen peroxide, which is less damaging. Also, though, they said that the darker the hair color is of the dye, the darker the dye that you're using, the less hydrogen peroxide is in that dye. So it's hard to know exactly, like, okay, so I'm still not sure. Like, it's not like black hair dye has no hydrogen peroxide in it. So it's still going to have some. So it's just like, didn't really say where the line is or kind of like how much, because I guess it depends on the company too. So I was looking at, well, okay, so if I do use a color that's light, like a less than 7 level. So basically, so this 7 is high, so it's lightest, more hydrogen peroxide. So anything from like 6, 5, 4 will have less hydrogen peroxide in it, less damaging to my hair, cuticles. That's in the permanent range. And then if I go in the semi-permanent range, I will be doing less roughing up my cuticles, which might mean that my roots might not dread as well as the rest of the hair, and that will be a little bit of something to worry about, think about. But I could do semi-permanent, you know, find one that I like, semi-permanent, or not dye my hair at all. But the thing is, like, I kind of feel like if I don't dye my hair at all, I need to kind of transition to that, because that was one of the reasons I took out my dreadlocks about 10 years ago or so. When I did it the first time, I had them for 5 months, and I used the Dreadhead HQ kit, and I had previously been hennaing my hair for several years, and so then not dyeing it at all, the roots were not dreading at all. Like it wasn't. It was just like it was hanging. It was like, I don't know, it was like this much growing out that wasn't. And we didn't have any dread salons at all back then around here. So yeah, so I don't want to go straight to like not dyeing it at all. It seems like when you get so used to dyeing your hair, you more distinctly dislike your natural color than, you know, when you're seeing it next to something else abruptly like that, rather than just getting used to the way it looks really naturally. Can't imagine a natural hair color that's ugly or horrible. I really don't, I can't see that happening. So anyway, so, you know, I could gradually ease myself towards my natural hair color, and then have my dreadlocks be my natural color. But then there is the whole idea of the lint and how they will look kind of a weird grayish, dark grayish tone to them. So it won't ever look like my natural hair color because of the lint in there with the dreadlocks. Yanni. So it would be good for me to continue to do something, but to ease it into something gentler than this, because this is starting to look pretty strawy, and yeah, it's getting to look pretty strawy, and I'm gonna need to do something about it. So that's what I wanted to disclose to you, is that yes, my hair is getting damaged. Now I have not trimmed my dreadlocks at all, and I did mention to you before what my hair looked like lengthwise before I got my dreadlocks. So this is in June of 2016, before I had my dreadlocks. This is my natural hair color and my length. And then this is from behind. And then I want to show you, this is 5 weeks after I got my dreadlocks installed. This is outside of Dreadlock Salon. So that's what my dreads were like from behind. And I did want the loose ends, so you see it's dreaded at the top, and I had just gotten my first and only maintenance done then, 5 weeks in. So, and that is like a little bit dyed there. Actually, I think I did dye it a little bit, but this is my natural color. So yeah, so that's what I want to share with you. Yep, getting damage. But really, my hair, all of that in those pictures is still in here. It's just scrunched up. And it's been scrunched up for like almost 2 years, and being dyed several times since then. Well, it would break off even if I didn't do anything to my hair. Naturally, your hair is fragile, will break off if it's skinny, fine hair. It's gonna get damaged just from the elements, just from friction and sun and heat and everything. Your hair would eventually break off in parts, but this is something where I don't want a big chunk of my hair to fall off because I've got dreadlocks. And if I lost the whole end here, this part, if I just like lost that whole part, well, this is all I'd have left. So I'd be kind of starting from pretty short hair. So that's why I'm trying to repair these thin spots so that doesn't happen. But eventually I will trim my dreadlocks. Once they get longer, I will trim off the damaged sections. I'm not going to let them grow forever long. I just think I need to wait a little while. I'd like to wait a little while for that. All right. Well, hope you enjoyed the video, and fessing up that I have screwed up my hair.